Hello Scorpio, I'm Poetic Heretic, and this is your October 2017 Tarot Forecast. Do remember you can use these videos for your sun, rising, and moon signs. So this month I am doing a week-by-week forecast where we will have one card for each week, and then the fourth card will be for the rest of the month also, and then a fifth card summing up the whole month. So let's see what we get. What does the universe have in store for those born under the sign of Scorpio in the month of October 2017? For the sign of Scorpio, the month of October 2017. And there we are. The first week, Temperance. The second week, the Ace of Cups. Ooh, we're off to a good start, you guys. The third week, the Seven of Cups reversed. The fourth week, the Empress. All right. And the fifth card summing up the whole month, the Six of Pentacles. Okay, I can say right off the bat, you guys are going to have a great month, a very good month indeed. I'm literally seeing virtually no negativity here, which is pretty amazing, and I'm not one to say that unless it's the case. There might be a slight chance of negativity with the Seven of Cups reversed here, but we'll get to that. But even then, like, overall, it's really, really good. So let's get into it. For the first week, you have Temperance. This card is a card of expansion and growth and plenty and abundance. It's also tied into the idea of finding the meaning and purpose in life. It's connected to the idea of metaphysics and theology and philosophy and stuff like that. Also education and higher learning. So expect sort of I guess a lot of deep meaning, I would say, in that first week in particular. And quite possibly of a sort of emotional nature with that Ace of Cups coming up. But regardless, a week that is very meaningful, purposeful, and quite possibly gets you more in touch with the metaphysical realm. Now, since this is all tied together with the Six of Pentacles here, we have the idea of abundance even more so, because the Six of Pentacles is payoff and rewards for work well done. And Temperance can talk about abundance and growth of all kinds, including financial abundance. So we have a lot of that energy going on as well. So this is really, really good energy here. Let's see. When we look at the symbolism of the card, some of these, I believe, are alchemical symbols, like with the two cups and how the water appears to flow in a sort of diagonal way, almost against gravity, and I think I once even heard it's meant to look like it's flowing upward, which is sort of a reference to the idea of alchemy, of transmuting energy, taking one type of energy and making it into another. So like taking something negative and making it into something positive. You know, and then the classic legends of alchemy, turning lead to gold. That's the idea, is that you want to turn the unwanted or the negative into something positive. And you can do that by shining the light of your awareness on anything negative and then bring it into the positive. This card, Temperance, is ruled by the planet Jupiter, so it's all about that expansion and optimism that Jupiter is about, and also the philosophy and meaning and things of that nature. So very powerful and exciting first week of the month coming up for you guys. For the second week, you have the Ace of Cups. This is also really, really good. This card is like almost never negative in my experience. This is overwhelming positive emotion. This is success being handed to you, as you can kind of see in the artwork of the card, in an emotional sense. So this could be like a new loving relationship, or like a new lover, essentially. This could be great harmony with someone that you already have in your life, who you are in love with, who is your lover, your significant other. This can just be a great new beginning of happiness in other endeavors as well, especially creative endeavors. The aces tend to point to new beginnings as well, so it's quite possibly a new beginning, although it doesn't have to be. It can be someone or something that's already in your life that brings you great joy and love and happiness. So we have that idea, and it's like it's overflowing, as you see in the card. It's overflowing with the water, which symbolizes the emotion. And as you see down here with the lily pads or whatever, it's like it's saying that this great harmony of emotion is bringing new life into being. It's creating something new. And so it's definitely the track that you want to be on. For the third week, you have the Seven of Cups reversed. Now, the way that I read this card, because I know that different sources have different interpretations, the way that I read this is the idea of a return to sanity, illusions shattered, seeing clearly. Some people interpret it negatively, and we'll get to that, but what's most common, and I think what's also most probable in this spread with all of this other really good energy going on, is the idea of clarity and seeing things as they are. Because when this card is upright, it talks about illusions and confusion, as you can see easily in the artwork of the card. So when it's reversed, it often, not always, but often can mean a return to sanity and seeing clearly. So expect things to really come into focus in that third week. This can also be a desire for recognition, in particular for your kindness and charity, for the way that you have helped other people. And if it's recognition you want, it looks like it's recognition that you're going to get with this Six of Pentacles down here, indicating the payoff and the rewards. So we have that idea. We even have a little bit of the idea of balance, with this being a 7 referring to Libra, balance, and then the scales in the Six of Pentacles down here, which are also referring to balance. So you could see things coming back into balance, quite possibly around money, with this card being the one that sums up the whole month. So you can look forward to that, especially around the third week. Now, as I mentioned earlier, the only possible negative thing that I see in this spread comes with this card, and it's with those other interpretations that I basically don't go with very often because I question their accuracy, to be frank. But I think in tarot, almost any interpretation can be appropriate given the context. So I'll throw this out there just to keep things balanced here. When this card is reversed, it can sometimes, according to these other interpretations, be an indicator of even more illusion and confusion and sort of not knowing what to do, maybe even when it comes to the choices in day-to-day life or whatever. So that's the worst possibility I'm seeing here. But even if that happens, it looks like a rather transient, temporary thing, because as we see here, by the fourth week, you've got the Empress energy, and that's very, very positive in almost every case. And then just before that, you had the Ace of Cups. So even if it's something unpleasant, it can't possibly be that bad. But I'm still sticking with the idea that this is saying that you're seeing clearly in the third week. And if you're wanting recognition for your kindness and charity, you're going to get that recognition. Now, the fourth week. The Empress. She is a very beautiful card. She is all about beauty and love. And so we have another indicator of love here. And receptivity and all of the feminine energy. She talks about tastes and inclinations, your likes and dislikes. She is sensual, so connected to all things physical. She's also about nature and the natural world. Having this card in the fourth week could be an indicator for you guys to try to get out into nature more. This might be a good time to get out into nature, like into forests or beaches, mountains, whatever you can do to get out into nature. That's always a good thing to do. And interestingly enough, she's also a card of great abundance, financial abundance. And so we have literally a three-way indicator of that here, 3 out of 5 cards, at least I would say, indicating good luck when it comes to money this month. And so that's very exciting. And we can take it a step further because the Empress and the Temperance card share the same Sephiroth on the Tree of Life, and they are inherently linked. And so with Temperance, it's more about sort of the meaning of life and stuff like that, in addition to the expansion and growth and abundance and optimism and all of that. With the Empress, it's more about like the beauty of life and things like that, in addition to the expansion and the abundance, the financial well-being that this card talks about. So some very powerful positive energy here. And the Empress is associated with the planet Venus, which has essentially the same sort of energy. Venus is sweet and loving and beautiful and all of that. And then Temperance, again, like I mentioned earlier, being ruled by Jupiter, the planet of expansion. So there might even almost be a risk of a little too much sweetness. I mean, ask any astrologer. Like I don't consider myself an astrologer, but I know enough about the planets. Ask any astrologer what they think of a combination of Venus and Jupiter, and they'll be like, "Oh wow, that's really, really sweet," but it could almost even be too sweet. It's like one of the sweetest combinations that there is. And so I guess the only other risk I would point out for you guys this month is similar to what we see in the Ace of Cups here, with this sort of overflowing water, overflowing emotion, is that there might almost be a little too much sweetness in your life in this month of October, that you might be a little like like, wow, you know, not quite knowing how to deal with all of it. But even then, you know, even if it gets a little overwhelming, it's like, can you really complain about that? Because it's what's happening is so much good stuff here, and it's particularly around money and also particularly around love, especially with the Empress and the Ace of Cups. Now, that brings us to the Six of Pentacles for the card summing up the whole month. Like I said, this card talks about the payoff and rewards for well done. It also talks about giving and sharing, exchange, stuff like that. So, again, we had this idea of receptivity with the Empress card. This could be your giving to others and or you're being receptive to what they have to give to you. Sort of harmony all around. But I think the real emphasis here, or the greater emphasis, is on your getting what you deserve for work well done. Also, another thing the Empress talks about is a similar energy, which is the idea of fruitfulness after length of days. You know, getting the harvest, reaping what you have sown. And so we have that again with the Six of Pentacles in a whole new way. And so it's like saying everything you've been waiting for, everything you've been working for, perhaps for a long time now, you're about to get at least some, if not a hell of a lot, of those rewards, of that harvest. It is coming your way. The Six of Pentacles also talks about day-to-day activities and like people that you encounter on a regular basis and stuff like that. And it can even talk about, as you see in the artwork of the card, like giving to those who are in need or stuff like that, like giving to those who are less fortunate in life. And so, you know, this month, with this combination of cards, you could be so overflowing with abundance that you are giving some of it away because you don't even need all of it. Again, that's going to depend on your unique situation. Not every Scorpio in the world is suddenly going to become a millionaire, of course. But for some of you, that may indeed be the case where you've got so much good stuff coming your way that you feel like you're able to freely give some of that away. And maybe, like with this Ace of Cups and the Empress here, it's even like you're giving away your love. You know, it doesn't have to be money or material things. You can give away your love and your time to people, and that has great and often indescribable value as well. So that's what we're seeing here. So if it's your birthday this month, Scorpio, because some Scorpios do have their birthday in October, I can pretty much guarantee that you're going to have a really, really, really happy birthday. Especially like with the Empress card talking about the 4th week, so the 22nd through the rest of the month, this would be like the time that your birthday would fall. Yeah, you're going to have a really, really great birthday, so happy birthday indeed. So there you go, Scorpio. I hope you enjoyed and do enjoy this magnificent month ahead of you. This has been a tarot forecast for the sign of Scorpio for the month of October 2017 from Poetic Heretic. Don't forget to rate, comment, favorite, and subscribe, and thanks for watching.